morning, everyone. I just finished brushing my teeth after eating, as you guys saw. And today's gonna be a vlog. I wanna talk about some of the things that help me stay motivated and hitting my goals, especially throughout the winter months. But honestly, just in general, whether that be my fitness, my work, my self-care, whatever. And now I know everyone always says, don't rely on motivation, you need to rely on discipline. But I think the thing that allows you to be consistent, yes, is discipline, but how you even can get to a place where you're able to discipline yourself, in my personal opinion, there is an aspect of being motivated to discipline yourself. And on top of that, looking at the type of discipline and the type of structure that you have in your life, is this out of a place of enjoyment, out of love, out of self-care? Do you have a lot of resistance to this discipline? Because if you have a lot of resistance to any sort of discipline in your life, then you're not really going to implement it. And discipline absolutely is the thing that's gonna keep you consistent. And I think today is a good day to record this video because this morning I woke up, didn't wanna do anything. Like woke up and started instantly trying to negotiate myself out of whatever it is I had to do today. And today, obviously, I plan to record this video. I also plan to record a podcast episode, and I also have a lot of prep to do for the podcast episode and in general, just a lot of admin stuff. So there's a lot of things that I did not wake up wanting to do. Now, the first thing that I always do, and this is obviously more on the days where I feel like I'm negotiating myself out of something and I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'll just do it tomorrow, is I like to make things not such a big deal. Now, I actually talked about this in one of my upcoming podcast episodes. And if you guys don't know, I have a podcast called the Globe Secrets Podcast. You can find it at Apple, Spotify, also on YouTube. I'll have it linked down below. But that episode is coming out about how to turn around a bad day. And one of the things that I was saying in that episode was to stop making everything such a big deal, because I just feel like when I was in my bed negotiating myself, thinking about all the things that I have to do and how much energy that it's gonna require of me, and I'm not really in the mood, I don't have a lot of energy, especially if the sun is not out. In that moment, I told myself, you know what, Alicia, okay, let's get out of our head. Let's stop making everything a big deal. And this is something so important that you kind of de-escalate the situation in your mind, right? Because whatever's in your mind, you're making it such a huge thing, like it's gonna take so much time, so much effort, it's gonna be so hard, you can't do it, all these emotions might come up, whatever. Let's de-escalate it. Let's tell ourselves it's gonna be okay. And then on top of that, how can we bring our attention towards the present moment right here? Meaning, what is just the next step that I need to do in order to get out of my bed or to be able to get to my computer to start the work? Like, what is the first next step that I need to take? Now, the step that you take is really important. And I think that this step, that's the most important in my opinion, is this motivational step. So picking something that is going to either mentally or physically move your life force energy, get you in this space of like, okay, you know what, like we can do the one step and then the next step after that. So for me, I was laying in my bed and I went on my phone, which I know, shouldn't have gone on my phone, blah, blah, blah. But whatever, we have certain habits we need to break. I actually played my own podcast episode because I actually do like to listen to my episodes in the morning. I don't know, it's not like I'm learning anything from my own self, obviously, but I'm just like listening to it, like making sure everything is good, everything is posted. So I play my podcast episode, obviously, like it could be maybe a song, maybe it could be your favorite podcast episode, maybe it's texting your boyfriend, maybe it's texting your friend, whatever it is, something that kind of gets you out of your head and gets you on track of kind of where you want to be in your life. Because the moment I started listening to my podcast, that always inspires me because I feel like, wow, I'm listening to my own voice on my podcast. I'm talking about something that's like self-improving, or even if it wasn't self-improving, it's just, it motivates me to be like, no, this is what we're doing. Like the girls are up listening to this podcast, so am I, we can do this. And now that I'm thinking about it, this is how I actually think that it goes. I think when you don't have motivation, or like, you know, you're starting a new habit for the first time, or you're trying to build something, this is kind of what happens. It's like, you need to have that masculine energy, the discipline to get into your mind and say, we're not gonna make this a big deal, right? The stopping the excessive thoughts, the resistance that you have maybe towards getting up to go to the gym or whatever, telling yourself a new story, the masculine, the discipline. And then following that, you want something that's more of that like fun, creative, feminine flow. So maybe you're literally like just getting up and going for a walk, or you're getting your coffee, or you're getting inspired, or you're journaling, or you're listening to a podcast or music, something to move that life force energy. And then that will allow you, hopefully, if you might have to go back to the getting out of your head thing. But that can lead you back into that discipline, the structure, the, okay, now I'm gonna get myself up and I'm gonna go to the gym. And sometimes I feel we can discount or ignore the inner dialogue that goes on in our minds because it's so automatic, but you have to become so aware and really step into your higher self and look at your two conflicting parts that are constantly battling each other throughout the day, throughout the morning or whatever. And the way I look at it as if I have different parts of me, my part of me that wants to like stay in bed and just chill and relax, and then the part of me that maybe is thinking like the gym is gonna be too tough. As my higher self, I'm looking at the part of me that, you know, oh, it's gonna be so hard and I can't do it, telling it in the moment, we're not gonna go there, we're not even gonna think about it. But if we do think about it, this is how we're gonna think about it, and we're gonna think about it as easy, we can do this, it's not gonna be difficult. But also, the part of me that just like wants to stay in bed or whatever, I'm telling this part, okay, you know what, we don't have to do everything because everything could be too much right now. Let's just do one step. Let's just get up and listen to the podcast, and then we'll make our bed. And when we make our bed, then we're gonna grab our coffee because we love to have the coffee. And then we're gonna sit down and we're gonna journal, okay? We're gonna take one step at a time. It's not gonna be overwhelming because I look at this part of me like my inner child. Now, I talked about this heavily in my book, The Ultimate Glow Up Guide. If you guys don't know, I have a book coming out January 9th, The Ultimate Glow Up Guide, a guide to self-growth, self-care, and becoming the best version of you. I will have that all down below, everything. You can also get a free journal guide if you pre-order. I talk about these parts of you, but just becoming so aware that you do have parts of you that like to operate and always come online as you're trying to do something, especially when you don't have motivation, especially when the sun is not out, especially when you're going through a breakup, especially when you're going through a financial situation, especially when your environment is trash. Like, trust me, I've been through it. It's definitely harder on certain days, 100%, but you just being aware that you have like these parts of you and really talking to them, witnessing them, taking your time is, in my personal opinion, the way that I've actually learned how to change. And now a lot of people, I think, will talk about, you know, you have to wake up and you just have to have discipline. Well, it's more complicated than that. We are human beings who have a lot of different parts of us. And unfortunately, a lot of us self-soothe in many ways. And so when we're trying to be on a pursuit of any sort of goal in our lives, we have to really understand ourselves and support ourselves on this journey if we want real change. And why I say that is because I used to try and just like have these strict rules and this discipline, and I wasn't understanding what was going on, this internal battle within me. And I actually was really unhappy. I dreaded all of my routines. I didn't enjoy the process at all. And what I used to do was I would burn myself down to the ground until I could not do these or hit these goals, I should say. And then I would go into this bout of depression for like a week or two straight and not do anything and then try again. Versus how I move through life is understanding that there's that internal battle and meeting my needs a little bit better. And that has always allowed me to get out of my way to be able to actually do the things that I want in my life. Because if you want that dream life, you need to take the action. You need to actually get to the gym. You need to actually get to the journal practice. You need to actually turn on the camera and start filming. So with that being said, I did that little routine in the morning. Now I have to do a few things that I know that I want to get done before I go to the gym. And I just ate, and I like to like give myself a second instead of going to the gym and like doing heavy lifting. So I'm gonna do some computer work, then we're gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do a get ready with me. And I wanna talk about the power of your routines, especially your before you do something routine.
Not away
we are back from the gym and we are out of the shower and we drank our smoothie. So I'm gonna quickly get ready because I need to record my podcast episode and we're gonna kiki. We're gonna talk about a few more things that really help me stay consistent and motivated, especially towards fitness, but honestly, you can apply these tips to most things in your life. So I actually made a TikTok and it was a photo TikTok. I just wanna make sure that my mirror's not going in here because this camera, dude, the way that my fucking battery dies every 3 seconds, I just have to get not a new camera, but a new battery. I was trying to record my I was trying to record my workout and I don't even know how much I got because it ended up dying. So we'll see what I come up with. By the way, if you guys are interested, actually, you know what? Never mind. Let's just go back to what I was gonna say. I made a TikTok, like a photo carousel TikToks, because like that's what I've been doing recently. And I was talking about things that keep me consistent because I have been really consistent at the gym and just like with healthy habits this past year, way different than I've ever used to be. And one thing for sure is being patient. Now I've talked about this in one of my past videos, so I'll link that down below. But some of these tips do incorporate this idea of like motivation. So one of the things that I wrote was that I work out at times that actually work for me. Now I know it depends on your lifestyle, but doing your best to actually work out at a time where you have enough energy, where you're not depleted. Because obviously if you are telling yourself to wake up at 4 a.m. to do a workout, it's gonna be way harder than for you to potentially do a workout, let's say at 9 a.m. Now I know some people can't do a workout at 9 a.m., but maybe you find that you have a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to do it after work or maybe on your lunch break, or depending on the types of jobs that you have, I don't really know. Or like I remember when I had really busy days, I didn't go to the gym every single day, and I don't go to the gym every single day. I also plan my workouts a lot of the times with my cycle, and I'm gonna make a video because I posted on my Instagram that I have a lot of energy right now to be able to film a lot because I'm in a phase of my cycle that I have enough energy. So I really try to capitalize on my energy. I capitalize on also my work week. I understand that there's just gonna be times where I'm a little bit more motivated than not. And again, this is not to not be resilient, and you can do your 5 a.m. workouts if you want, but for me, working out as soon as I open my eyes doesn't work for me. And I think for me, I kind of have PTSD in a way because I used to do this all the time and ran myself dry, burned myself the fuck out back in college when I would do this. So like, that's why I'm kind of like, not against it, but like for me personally, I'm kind of against it for myself. But I, like you guys already saw, I woke up and I ate and I had my coffee and I did a little bit of work. I like to actually do a little bit of my work and let my food digest and really give myself ample enough times to feel ready and energized and fueled to go to the gym. But I understand that some people don't have that much time. It's not necessarily about the time for me. It's about what am I doing before I tell myself to do a really hard, rigorous workout, because then I'm less likely to do it. That's just me personally. So I really make sure that I'm doing my workouts at the times that work a little bit better for me. Is it always ideal? No, it's not. Even for someone who works for themselves. Like I have things to do, especially in the winter time. I am on a schedule with the sun. So the sun is like setting all the time super early. So I can't just like do things whenever the fuck I want. And another thing that I said was, I do workouts that I enjoy. And does this mean your workouts or your food or your work has to be something you fully enjoy? No, because obviously there's gonna be challenges. But I make my workouts make sense for me. So like for my workout today and what I've been doing for my leg days recently is I personally like to prioritize being consistent versus stopping and starting, stopping and starting. So for me to get into the gym as much as I want, I need to make sure that I'm not spending a lot of time in the gym, because if I make my workouts 1-2 hours and I'm doing like 4 or 5 exercises, 5 sets of everything, so much weight on my body to be able to do these movements like hip thrust or whatever, I'll be less likely to be able to stay consistent with that thing. Because realistically, how consistent could you actually be, let's say going to the gym every other day or you know, every 2 days you're going and you're doing leg days, but your leg days are like fucking 2 hours with 18 exercises, and it's super hard. Again, obviously your workouts are gonna be hard, but I used to do this a lot and I would burn myself out, and I'd be like, on the days where I had zero energy, to think about doing my extensive leg day was too much, so then I wouldn't do anything. I was such a perfectionist, I just wouldn't do anything. But now, because my workouts, I only usually stick to like 2 main exercises. I do essentially the same movement. I work on my reps and my weight range. It is so much easier for me to just get into the workout on the days that I don't feel motivated, because I'm like, it's fine. It's like, it's not like brushing my teeth, but it kind of is, you know? It's like, I don't have to think about it. I know exactly what I'm doing. I only got to do these 2 exercises. I've done it 100,000 times. I have my playlist. Like, that makes working out so much easier. And I used to be a personal trainer as well. So, I mean, obviously I program my workouts, but you don't need all of the extra shit, especially like with whatever, whether you're losing weight, trying to gain weight, building muscle. It just, honestly, it's a few things. It's consistency for me when it comes to like weight gain, I guess. It's consistency. Are you eating? Are you lifting? Are you doing compound movements? And stick to these exercises. Of course you want to up your weight, but like, we don't need to, you know, every week change your Bulgarian split squats to your deadlifts, and then your hip thrusts, and then your single leg this, and your fucking cable kickback that. Like, all those extra things are not needed. And for me, I just made sure that I'm doing my compound movements, and I personally love hip thrusts and deadlifts. Now, I was doing deadlifts all throughout summer, so I got really strong. My hamstrings got really, really strong. Same with my lower back. Now I'm staying with my hip thrust, but recently I've been adding in Bulgarian split squats, and those are my 2 main exercises that I've been doing. Sometimes I will split it up if my hips are really sore from my hip thrusts. And I really just can't do it, then that's when maybe I'll do my deadlift. But I'm honestly just staying to the same, and that's gotten me so much results than any other type of working out that I used to do, because I was always impatient, and then I would change all my workouts, and I just like wouldn't. I would just be like, no, I have to do every single little thing so that I can get these legs or get these whatever, because I was so attached to the outcome. But you know, detaching, which is something I always talk about too, from the outcome, will allow you to be more just like consistent with things. So bringing it back to your workouts, whatever type of workout you do, because I know not everyone does this, do something that you actually enjoy, because then you will be consistent and you won't have so much resistance to it. If you like Pilates, if you like working out from home, what is it that you can be consistent with? Because you will see results. It doesn't have to be what I'm doing. Now, another thing that does really give me motivation is music. And it's taken me, I think, all summer to really curate playlists that I really love. But music for me, it really does give me an extra boost of motivation pre going to the gym, or like pre doing my work day. Because even when I like edit and stuff, I kind of like have a little routine and then I go. Like, music really does get me in a certain mood. So just having playlists that, you know, fit the mood and the energy and the vibe that you want to be in and you want to embody is really important in my opinion. So I have a lot of hood playlists. I have a lot of rap music. Those are the types of music that I do like to listen to when I am lifting. But, you know, maybe for my studying music or my pre-work or going for walks and stuff, it's different. So then maybe I'm listening to a podcast, or maybe I'm listening to jazz music, whatever it is. But like, make sure you have something so that you can play pre-getting ready, because that's what I did when I was getting ready. I was listening to music, and then also on the treadmill doing my warm-up, and then going through my workout. But one thing I will say is, don't be a perfectionist and let yourself listen to whatever music you want, because today, well, actually, over the weekend, I made a playlist called Sad Girls. And by the way, I have my Spotify playlist down below if you're interested. And I don't usually listen to more slower or like sad music, but I've just been loving Tate McRae's new album. My 2 favorite songs are Run for the Hills and Calgary. And if you guys know me, I had my Coastal Cowgirl Calgary summer summer in Calgary, I should say. So I just like, it just reminisce. And I just love Calgary. But I listened to those 2 songs basically back to back to back to back the whole entire time. And that got me through the workout. And I will say I did cry. Just because honestly, it's the music, right? When you listen to certain types of music, it does like elicit feelings. But honestly, I needed it. I needed to cry. And it was like a mixture of like sad cry, but also like happy cry, and also like release. Like, I literally needed to let it out. like right after I was doing like my really heavy sets. But anyways, music, I think for me, it moves you. It does something, and you don't always have to listen to music, but something like music or a good playlist really helps me. And also just wearing something that's very comfortable, whether that be to the gym or let's say just working right now. Like after my shower, I put on my hoodie. Like I put on things that make me comfortable, but also make me feel like I'm getting ready and I'm actually stepping into this identity. Like that's why I'm getting ready because of my podcast, but even if I wasn't, I would want to do my skincare. I'd want to do like something with my hair, like make my hair feel like it's somewhat put together, even if I'm not doing much, because I just think that it does give you this energy. It's like, yes, I'm embodying this person who takes care of themselves, is now ready to do the task, is now ready to work. And even when it comes to like studying, right? If you have a little routine where you're playing your jazz music, you're making sure your environment is clean, everything is organized, you have a timer, maybe whatever it is that you need, and like you're kind of like really intentionally setting out this time, I find not only do you kind of look forward to it in a way because it's not like dreadful, because you're kind of enjoying that process, but then you actually get things done because you're actually stepping into this identity of somebody who sits down and studies or goes to the gym. Also thinking about motivation in terms of eating, because actually somebody had asked me on the podcast, I think, like, how are you motivated to eat or eat healthy? Or because, you know, like obviously when we're talking about health and wellness goals, like usually it, you know, involves us taking our supplement or eating food that nourishes us in any sort of way, whatever. How do you like stay motivated? And honestly, I choose foods and I make things that I enjoy. Like I used to be this like super strict dieter to help, you know, support my fitness goals. But I really didn't enjoy the food that I was eating. I was like, would dread having to eat chicken and fucking broccoli and rice every single day because I was trying to hit my macros. Like, no wonder I didn't stay on any sort of track. So I make sure that I'm eating foods that I actually enjoy. I love steaks. I love quesadillas recently, chicken quesadillas. I also add steak in the quesadillas. I don't limit myself, which helps me as well stay on a better track in a way, because you know, I'm not waking up every day saying I can't have anything. Instead, I wake up and I choose how I want my body to feel. And of course, my body feels better when I'm eating my foods at home and I'm not ordering out and I'm actually cooking, and I know that I'm eating my protein and I'm eating my food that really helps fuel my body and so that I have energy. Like, those are just like important things. I have a lot of smoothies. I made a smoothie today. And I just think like, it's no wonder a lot of the times we're not motivated to do these quote unquote healthy behaviors for ourselves when we make it so dreadful. We make it such a big thing in the morning, like I was telling you guys, but also like we don't enjoy the process and we don't like have fun with it. And then on top of it, like we just don't have anything to look forward to, whether that be like fueling our body with our favorite meal, or even if it's like studying or doing some work. Like when I am done doing my podcast, I'm gonna take a break, okay? I need a break because I'm filming all day and like I need a second. But even when it comes to like school, if you're working towards something, like, do you have anything planned for the week for you to like go out and see your friends? Do you have anything to look forward to? Are you rewarding yourself in any sort of way? I think sometimes we just make life very difficult in a way, and I understand that it's difficult. My life right now, oh my gosh, it's so much easier than it used to be when I had to do these same things, but I also made it way harder on myself when life was already so hard. So if your life is even harder than mine right now, I highly suggest you allow yourself to enjoy the process however it is that you need it to be. Because quite frankly, you're probably taking on a lot. You probably are working towards many goals in your life, and I am too, still. But you know, like maybe you're healing your relationship with food or your body image, or you know, maybe you're trying to get yourself out of debt, or maybe you're going through college right now, maybe you're feeling a little bit lost, maybe relationships, this, that, your 20s, like your 20s are, wow, your 20s are a chapter. That's all I have to say about that. So like, why make it worse and harder on ourselves, you know? And I think obviously it's a normal thing that kind of happens sometimes, is you don't even realize that you're making it worse when you are actually on the pursuit to like self-improving, but we kind of do. And I talk about this in my book a lot. This is the cycle that I constantly was in until I realized like, damn, like I'm trying to change my habits in my life out of this place of tyranny. out of this place of dictatorship, out of this place of self-hate and like, nah. And that's just, I don't know. I think maybe like with age, I realized, and going through this so much, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me. If I want to have a nice, great body, let's say, or a successful business, I want to get it in the best way that I can that preserves my mental health and that allows me to be present in life. I want to achieve these things from a place of happiness, in a place of I'm actually enjoying the process. And I understand that, you know, the best things in your life, they do take a grind in a way. But how I look at it is I don't need to, and I definitely don't want to, grind in the way that a lot of people do, where they burn themselves out or they're unhappy or, you know, they just get into these cycles. Because what ends up happening is sometimes, yes, these people do get successful. They get the body. I got the body. When I was in college, I ended up getting the body and I was miserable. I was literally so miserable. I had no social life. I was such a perfectionist. I was living in my head. I had a really unhealthy relationship with food, but on the outside, I got the body. I don't want that. That's not the way that I'm gonna have success. That's not the way that I'm going to build health within myself. And you can do it. There's many ways that you can make a lot of money, and people always say you have to grind and you have to bust your ass to be able to get these things. On one hand, yes, there's always an action forward, but what type of action are you doing, and are you even enjoying it, and are you even aligned? And what I find is when I actually enjoy the process and like romanticize my life a little bit more and like get out of my head and like not make everything such a big deal and be okay with the present right now, things come way quicker. Things come quicker because I don't get in my way, because I'm enjoying the process, which means I am that much closer to getting my goal. And it doesn't feel like such a long period of time. I've done this with my YouTube. I've done this with my finances. I've done this with my health. I've done this with relationships. So on one hand, I do understand this, like, you need to have discipline and like, you know, not every day you're going to be motivated and not every day you're going to feel good. Yes, obviously. But what are some things that you can do to make the process more enjoyable, even on the days that you don't feel the best? Because I find when the days are not feeling the best, when you wake up and you're in your thoughts, you could embody discipline by saying, get the fuck up anyways, which a lot of people will tell you to do. And I've done that to myself too. And you know, some days you do need to do that. Essentially just get up. But that doesn't really work in the long term. And understanding that we're human beings, we're gonna have those days where we're not feeling good, right? Even if you're a woman and you're on your period, like there's just gonna be days where you're not really into it. But how can we lovingly bring ourselves closer to a wellness practice in a way that's not so much resistance? Again, I don't choose to live a life of struggle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, there was a girl who DM'd me, and I'm sure she's fine with me saying this because I'm not gonna say her name, and I don't really remember word for word, but she was just basically saying like, thank you for your content. I've been listening to it a lot, and like yesterday I was in the gym and I was getting so frustrated and like really having a hard time because I had these thoughts in my head, just like negative thoughts. I don't know if it was like body image things or whatever, if I'm mixing it up with what I was thinking, because I'm gonna connect it back to me. But she was just saying like, I was really struggling at the gym with these negative thoughts and like, you've really helped me, blah, blah, blah. And it's crazy because I was witnessing, I was having some negative thoughts too at the gym. Like I guess I just wasn't having the best body image day. And I don't even really, like, I don't really care. I don't really have body image days, I guess. Like bad body image days too often really, because like, I'm not really checking in a way. Like I just look at my body like this is what it is. I'm not really judging it good or bad. Although I definitely always will look in the mirror and be like, wow, you have an amazing body, but I don't really have those days usually. But today I was witnessing, like, I didn't really like love the way that I looked in my workout set. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. And I think I just wanted to say that because if you have bad body image days, or if you had bad days, right? Like you just go to the gym and you just can't get through it. You can't get through it. It's too hard. None of your shit's working. Like your playlist is not making you whatever. Like there's some days that are just hard. Like it's also okay. You know, it's okay that I don't like my body right now. It's okay that my body doesn't look hot right now. It's okay that I'm going through something and this workout is hard. Now, sometimes I one time walked out of the gym because I just could not do it. But I think sometimes when you accept the fact that yes, you have a bad body image day, or yes, you have these negative thoughts that are spiraling and you can't seem to get rid of them, or yes, it just feels like you're kind of half-assing your workout. When you kind of be okay a little bit more with these thoughts and these seasons sometimes of life, little mini seasons of life that you go through, I find that actually you become more resilient and you're able to just move through it. Like I was able to continue to do my workout because I wasn't spiraling in the fact that I had this bad body image day, because when I witnessed myself thinking these not so nice thoughts about my body, I was kind of just like, whatever, it's normal. Like it's not normal, but like I'm not every single day, not every single outfit I'm gonna look amazing, but let me like bring my attention and my focus back to what matters, which is it's not my body and how I look right now. It's really irrelevant. And that just helped me be able to continue to focus on what I am here to do. And I think that like with anything, I tell myself, you know, if I'm getting in my own way, let's say I'm writing or I'm doing something for my work or I'm watching a video back and I'm realizing I don't really love it. It's not to deny these thoughts, but it's kind of like, okay, these are sometimes normal thoughts will come up. You second guess yourself. Let's keep it to the side here. Like let's keep it at bay and let's remind ourselves that we don't even need to be perfect anyways. You know, because sometimes it's hard for you to push these negative thoughts away because it's like they're so loud. But just be okay with them. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't really love this video, but I'm just gonna edit it anyways because I know it's better that I put something out than to just completely not do my job because I'm like getting in my own way. And I know that somebody's gonna appreciate this video regardless anyways, and I don't have to be perfect. Or I'm at the gym right now and I'm looking at my body and it's like not the best. Okay, like I don't need to have this most perfect body anyways for anything. Like genuinely, what's more important is that I'm here at the gym and I'm moving my body. And worrying about the progress or if my body is changing or anything like that is very irrelevant because I'm supposed to be here for me to move my body. This is therapeutic. I literally cried at the gym. Like that was really good. So I don't know. I just think that normalize, I don't actually like using that word because I feel like this generation, we like to normalize a lot of things that are not normal. They're just common, but it's okay to not have the best day. And I think that once you're more open to negative emotions in a way, not only do you become more resilient because you're gonna have those days, but you continue to move out of your way quicker and then you get to your goal faster because you're not stopping. And I think, you know, when you have a hard life or when you have things that come up or you're in your 20s, a lot of things are gonna come at you. And these things create emotions within you. And if we let every single emotion take over to the point where, oh, I can't do it. Oh my God, I have this bad body. Nothing's working. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna just rebrand my whole entire life. If we start doing that, then we're not going to get results. We will get no results. And that's what I used to do. So to sum up this video, the first thing and the most important thing for you to do when it comes to being motivated, especially during the winter months with anything, is getting back into your mind and taking control in a nice way, but taking control. Are you telling yourself that thing is gonna be super hard? Are you feeling like you're gonna be really overwhelmed because you have a million things on your list? And if that's the case, take things step by step. Or if you're like telling yourself a story about how hard things are gonna be, it's not gonna be that difficult. It's not that difficult. You've done it before. Also making sure that you have things in your life that really spark that life force energy by not only doing things that will quote unquote get you in the energy of becoming that person, but honestly just enjoying things and romanticizing it and making it unique to you. Have a little pre-study routine. Create a space where you feel comfortable and more motivated in. Have a gym playlist that you actually enjoy. Curate those songs that make you think about the girl that you want to be. Get your cute hoodie, get your cute workout set. Do the workouts that you enjoy. Make food that you enjoy. Enjoy your life, because at the end of the day, when we're looking for motivation, we're looking for motivation for something that is supposed to be a pretty normal, natural thing in our lives. How do we not have so much resistance to these things? How do we make these things more normal in our lives when we need to enjoy it? We need to look forward to it in some capacity. We need to not feel so much resistance and understand that you are probably someone right now who is operating out of a lot of stress, a lot of maybe starting and stopping, maybe a lot of trauma, maybe a lot of wounds, maybe a lot of like trying to navigate your 20s. So understand that you're a unique being that's gonna need certain routines put in place or certain ways that you need to romanticize your life in order for you to get these goals, and that's okay. You don't need to put yourself under tyranny in order to get these results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you wanna see next, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.